Was I right? Was I at the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time? I don't know. Look at me.
That's oh man, my childhood hero and 99.9% best friend, Sergeant Slaughter.
You know how it went with that first GI Joe that you couldn't buy, you had to earn.
Yes.
So anyway, they you know that story, right? They only ordered 300,000 GI Joes and they needed 3 million.
Right.
That's why they were waiting so long because they didn't order enough.
Well,
they never had a real person in their GI Joe line before. They didn't know why I was giving them away like candy. Like here, throwing them. Here, have one of these. God, I'd like to have a box of them right now. There he is. They made prototypes, and then of course they kind of put me on the shelf. Didn't put me on the availability list, and so I told that to Hasbro, and they went, "Oh, is that right?" So, rest is history. We've talked about it where they made a special Sgt Slaughter that fit into the LJN. It's called the LJN Sgt Slaughter, but it got nothing to do with LJN. They didn't have a thing to do with it. Hasbro made it, and they put me in that outfit right there.
Right.
And sold it separately. That was the second one you could get through the mail. But this was the first one right here.
So this outfit didn't exist as a wrestling outfit originally, right? It was just created for your GI Joe.
Right. But I had it made to wear in the ring. But
in your commercials,
of course,
right.
When I had all this in my mind to take to Vince McMahon and the WWF at that time, I didn't know I was going to get, whoa, sorry, Sarge. I thought I was bringing something to the table that was going to make the company millions and millions of dollars of a thing where you got a wrestler and a GI Joe on the same show. I had the animated show and then I'd be on the wrestling show. It was a great idea, which I was told many times by Vince McMahon, but he couldn't do it because he had already signed with LJN. And so I couldn't be at both places. I had to make my decision. And so, long story short, that's going to be the name of my book. Anyway, so I left, and Diane sat across the table one more time, but this time it wasn't a poker game. It was at dinner. And she just said, "You're going back to the WWF as a what? An Iraqi sympathizer? Are you out of your mind? You're G.I. Joe. You're G.I. Joe. You can't do that. You're going to get killed." I said, "Well, that's what they want me to do." So, anyway.
I do want to say these images are coming from 3D Joe's, which is the best place to go to check out superb images of every GI Joe, including Sgt Slaughter, as well as all the bits and pieces like pamphlets and packaging and stuff like that. And speaking of pamphlets, packaging, you're absolutely right, Sergeant.
There it is. Ooh.
You had to earn it. What's that? That's a swagger stick.
I have seen 3 of these in the last 2 years. People are bringing them to me and having me sign the box.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And gosh, it's great to see those. That's where it all started right there. It's the original file card.
It wasn't flag points, though, unless you were in Canada, I think. Do you need flag points or proof of purchase? Do you also need flag points?
It was the 5 proof of purchase certificates.
Yeah.
You had to have 5 of those. You sent it off in an envelope and with your name and address, or you would get that in the mail and you would call that number and it would be me, a recording of me. And I would say, "You reached Sgt Slaughter, you got the, here's your secret code." And it said, I think it was like 1970 or 1985. I think that's what the number was. And you would write that on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and your address, and then they would send you, voila.
Yeah, so this was the collect 5 Sergeant Slaughter proof of purchases. I do have a bunch of these. I've also got the Canadian version, which is multilingual, and instead of I think there was different terms and conditions for it, but yeah, this was also another way. If you didn't,
Yes,
that was a secret code,
right.
and you're right, 1986.
Okay, recruit. Here's a secret code bonus number, 1986. Got it? 1986. Send your GI Joe Sgt Slaughter special proof of purchase certificates in the mail. You get my action figure free. That's an order. Sgt Slaughter signing off. Vince McMahon basically turned it down. I didn't know if it would be worth anything, if it was the right move. And so I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then, of course, here she comes, Diane Remus. We're at the dinner table again. And she said, what's wrong with you? You're not eating. That's not like you. No problem. Well, what is it now? Well, I got the GI Joe thing, and Vince doesn't want me to go. He says you can be here in the WWF, or you can go to GI Joe. You can't be in both. So give me a decision. And I said, I don't know really what to do, because WrestleMania 1 is right there. It's 1985. So she said, well, it's pretty damn simple, Bob. I said, what do you mean it's pretty damn simple? She said, you can always be a wrestler. There's going to be a lot of WrestleManias, but you're never going to get the opportunity to be the first living GI Joe in their history in the world. You're going to go down in history, or however she put it. And I said, that's why you get the big bucks, honey. And I called Vince the next day. Leaving.
So then you had to go with your first release. You had this second release. This is kind of a little bit more how you looked in GI Joe, and probably closer to what you would walk out onto the ring in before they put you in the USA outfit, which I love the fact that you would wrestle in that USA outfit. So
I was not comfortable in the USA outfit because it wasn't tough enough. I mean,
right, okay.
I'm talking about Sgt Slaughter. For Sgt Slaughter to wear something that looks, that he can kick ass, and that's the look that I created right there. That's the look that was.
But he didn't come alone, did he? He came with the Triple T.
Triple T tank.
AKA the Tag Team Tender.
That was part of my first commercial.
Yes.
And a lot of people thought that was when I came into the first animated series, but it wasn't. This was a commercial where I was introduced to the public to be driving a vehicle, the Triple T tank.
Yeah.
I beat up all the bats, and I think I can't remember word for word, but it was General Hawk yelling out, and somebody said, "The Joes are in trouble," and General Hawk said, "No, the Cobras are in trouble. That is Sgt Slaughter." And yes, come in the Triple T tank, and I was knocking over bats, and he kept talking. General Hawk kept putting me over, and when it was all done, I was standing on a heap of tin. And the Triple T tank was smoking and raring to go. That was my first time bringing my vehicle in.
What's interesting with the commercial for the Triple T is that it only survives a few seconds before it's blown up,
Yeah.
and then you'd sort of jump in there and take them out without the need of the Triple T. But there's actually many occasions in the cartoon commercial where the Triple T just does not survive. It's blown up on at least, I think, 3 or 4 occasions that I counted.
Yeah, it was well put together, though. It was.
The file card lists you as classified, top secret. So there was no use of your real name there. No. I can't think of many other GI Joes that don't have their file name listed, if any. So being classified top secret is a big deal.
Right.
And you're the guy that the Joes are already in pretty good shape. You're the guy that whips people into shape that are already in good shape. So you're bringing them up into extra good shape.
That's right. That one is an E7. They misprinted it.
Oh, right.
I was at E6.
Well, someone didn't get the memo. So you're saying you prefer
it's a collector item.
So your preference of costume between the USA version and this version is that this one is the tougher one.
Yeah, that was the look that I designed Sgt Slaughter be in. And see the when you just talked about the file card of top secret type of thing. Yes. That's why I demanded, not demanded, but I just told them that I would not sign the contract unless I did the voice for the cartoon or for the animated version. That way, I read the script, and I knew how my character was going to be developed. And I think it also helped them to tell the writers he's going to be saying the stuff himself, so you might want to make it as authentic as possible. And
so that was always part of the deal, is that you were going to get a action figure and you were going to do, if you were in the cartoon, you were going to do the voice of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that I wouldn't have done it without me doing the voice. Wanted to, all the commercials, not that I could do all the commercials, but I wanted to see the line, wanted to know what I was saying before I did it, so that I stated the character that I created. I didn't want GI Joe to like kill me off or anything like that, you know.
So we have here the version 3 of Sgt Slaughter. Now, what do you think, looking at this action figure, is the most distinctive feature for this? The gimmick. What's the gimmick for this?
I know.
Tell me.
The campaign cover comes off.
Correct. It's almost as if you've seen this figure before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The only one. That's
well done.
GI Joes that you could ever take my campaign cover off.
The thing about the hat is, like, I don't mind. I love the fact that you can have one without the hat on, the campaign cover. Sorry, my apologies. To fit on your giant melon, it's sort of they've had to take away the lemon squeezer look of your campaign cover, make it a little bit more rounded.
The Warthog. That's what I was going to tell you. That action figure one too.
Yes. One of my favorite vehicles. It is a great troop transport. Really floats. Yeah, you can load up a bunch of guys in there. So cool.
Yeah.
Now, for GI Joe fans who may not know this, so good. For the GI Joe fans that may not know this art here on the file card, and for the prototype figure that they use for catalogs and so forth, that torso is not the right torso for the Warthog Sgt Slaughter. That is actually Tunnel Rat's torso. They use the Tunnel Rat action figure GI Joe for the torso. That's why he's got the firearm in the front there instead of the dagger.
I did not know that. Tough vehicle right there. Tough vehicle.
Yes. So it came in 2 different colors, actually. Action Force got a different shade of green for theirs, and theirs came with Sergeant Slammer, but also had a file card that said Sergeant Driller. Sergeant Driller, Sergeant Slaughter, Sergeant Slammer, Sergeant Smasher, Sargento Slaughter. So we're onto the fourth and final of the original run of Sgt Slaughter action figures, and we have the Slaughter's Marauders Sarge. What do you think of the bright blue
wasn't a real big fan of this outfit. I like it. I like the Marauders name,
Yeah, yeah.
and I like the Marauders, and I thought they were a kick-ass team, and just a very good drawing of me on the package. All dressed the same, and we had the dog, and
yeah, yeah.
But it was the one of the last hurrahs.
So, not your favorite, but
not I love the draw, the mess,
yeah,
the artwork. Love the look. Love the look.
Right. Does look tougher in the card. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the only time he was available on card, other than because he came with the vehicles before then and was a mail away. But they call them the Mad Marauders now. Did you know, Sarge? It's not the Slaughter Marauders anymore.
Who changed that?
Some idiot.
You brought it to my attention, and I went, "What's wrong with the Marauders?" Tough enough. I mean, how tough can they get?
I don't get it. It's fine. Like we still have Slaughter's Marauders, so no one can take that away from us. It's just an interesting choice. I don't hate it. I'm not mad about it. It's fine. They want to move in a different direction, but we know what's up. We know it's really the Slaughter's Marauders.
You know the good thing about that action figure you just had up on the screen?
Yes.
It's hard to find.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Correct. I don't think I've ever seen one on card except for when I first saw one as a kid. And out of the 400 plus that I have, I think the Marauders one is the least that I have. Yeah. It's very hard to find the file card, very hard to find the swagger stick for that one in particular. But yeah, it is definitely, Slaughter's Marauders. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. I appreciate all the fun stories. I appreciate the tease of stories that we'll hear somewhere else at some other time. All your time, because time is precious and you've spent some time with us.
And now
we're dismissed.
As you were.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below.